All right. I'm going to see if I can see this while I'm live. If anybody comments, I don't think I can because this Mevo. Oh, there it goes. Let's see if I can get to it. Give me 2 seconds. So, I'll see if anybody comments. And if, let me mute this so I don't have any background noise. All right. So, how companies actually grow. I know that it's a common topic in the guru world, in the marketing world. We get a lot of new shinies, a lot of new strategies, tips, techniques to help your business grow. Most of them center around getting more leads. But more leads run out of being the solution real fast when fulfillment and management and things falling through the cracks. And this isn't a video about management. I know I keep harping on that and hammering that over the past few months, but that is the biggest bottleneck for a lot of companies once they get past $1 million is management inability. But today what I want to talk about of how companies actually grow is the discussion around breaking through bottlenecks. I know that the bottleneck breakthrough method is what I focus on and is what I've developed, but it's because it's come out of running headlong into helping companies, helping business owners do what they think they need to grow, and it doesn't work. It's a false efficiency. It's solving a problem that may not be a root cause, but is a symptom. I got a great simple analogy. I got a client. He thinks that on a big sales page, he's got about 6 embedded YouTube videos. And so his assumption was that, oh, YouTube's taking forever to load these videos. So we need to switch all those videos over to Wistia, have somebody download all of them, re-upload them to Wistia, re-embed them in the web page, and that will solve the page load time, because the page was taking 6 seconds, 6.05 seconds to load. Well, I did a report on them with a tool from Pingdom. I ran the page through that and found out that the YouTube videos only accounted for 11% of the page file size. And that doesn't even mean that that's the slowest thing to load it. What was taking all the time was there were 62 images on the site or on the page, and those were loading all at once. And then there was 27 JavaScript files loading all at once. And so we can go ahead and have his assistant download all the YouTube videos and move them over to Wistia, and it might be a little bit more of a clean user experience, but it's not going to change the page load time significantly. If the real problem that we want to solve is page load time to improve usability, we need to just get a WordPress developer or somebody that knows WordPress optimization in there to either minify the plugins or the CSS. It had 11 CSS files loading, and get to the root cause. And so the reason that most business owners or most businesses aren't growing, I'm actually going to change the screen so I'm not looking at this because my ADD is getting distracted by seeing myself live and trying to capture the comments. But the way that businesses actually grow is that they solve the root problem. And most of the time, this is not fixed by buying the latest course or following the latest guru or reading the latest book or anything like that. I love reading books. I mean, you can see back here, these are just a percentage of all the books I've got. And I love consuming information, but I know at the end of the day that new information is not what is going to solve my business growth needs. It's getting to the source of the root cause. And so most often, that again is a management thing, and that's creating systems, creating documentation, reviewing with your staff. Over and over and over, the number one thing I tell my clients to do is have a weekly one-on-one meeting with their key staff. That solves 99% of all the management headache. And I've got it outlined in my book, and I've got a checklist of how to do that. And every client that's implemented it thanks me for it. But at the end of the day, chasing some new shiny, chasing some new idea, trying to find some new lead source is not going to solve your business problems. Figuring out what is the root cause is the key. And if you don't have anybody to help you with that, you're stuck. I've got another client that I'm in way deep with them, and he just shared his P&Ls with me, and it's really a mess, and he's been carrying this burden for way too long, and there needs to be change. We may fire some people, and that's painful, but the company's not going to survive if he doesn't take drastic action. And he's just been carrying this burden all by himself and hasn't had anybody to talk to. And I get it. It's lonely, it's scary, and you obviously can't talk to your employees about it. But having some outside perspective, somebody to go to that can help you actually get to the root cause. I really liken business growth to the same as our health. We've got so many get rich or get fit fast programs, the infomercials that I don't know how they still sell those things, of the ab roller and the ab shocker and the shake weight and all those things that people actually buy thinking that they're going to get fit with them, when the underlying cause is probably a hormone imbalance or sleep problems or massive amounts of stress, or some kind of huge genetic issue that they've never paid attention to or something. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a root cause. And all of my Fit Pro buddies will tell you that until you analyze and test that root cause and figure out what's really going on to create a plan for it, you're never going to get fit. You may lose a few pounds, you may get a little bit more cardio endurance in, but you're not going to get truly fit. And so it's the same way in the business growth world. The Facebook bots right now, I mean, they're just everywhere. That's not going to solve your growth needs. Figuring out what your offer is and how to engage prospects effectively. I mean, the biggest spot I enjoy helping people with is in their closing process. I love closing deals, and I've done it for a lot of friends over the years. And tuning up the closing process can streamline, help improve qualification, and generate more revenue faster than getting more leads. But that's not sexy. There's nobody that's selling a program of how to dial in your B2B service, professional service business closing process. There's no program for that. And it's not sexy, and it doesn't 10x your business overnight. But at the end of the day, getting to the root cause is. So if you've been stuck at a plateau, whether it means that you're running up against it and bouncing back, or you're incrementally growing 2, 5, 10% a year and that's it, you're stuck at a plateau, and there is a single or maybe two root cause bottlenecks that are keeping you there. And until those are fixed, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to deal with more turnover. You're going to deal with more frustration. You're going to spend more money on wasted programs and be taken advantage of by all of the charlatans and ignoramus people out there that think they know what you need, or think they're a genius and think they have the problems of your business growth solved, but you're just slapping band-aids on cancer at the end of the day, and it's not going to get resolved. So you don't have to work with me. I don't care. Just stop spending money on programs that are not going to solve your specific bottleneck, your specific situation. And I'm going to flip over here to my feed and see if any questions. I see Matt and Jeff. Glad you guys are here while I'm live. But leave a comment. I'm happy to brainstorm with you and help figure out what your root cause is. I'm even thinking of just doing it as a flat fee service. Just hop on a call, solve your problems, because getting that clarity about what to solve is 90% of the problem for most people. Following up and knowing what to do and implement and follow through is hard, especially for a lot of entrepreneurial ADD types. Follow through is tough. and details are painful for most, but knowing what to do is the key. And yeah, I'm just tired of all the chaos and people asking me, which program should I buy? And should I go to this course? And what about this software? And what about this new widget? How do we get Facebook bots working with our lead gen? And all of this stuff that's just an utter distraction. That at the end of the day, there's one or two key bottlenecks that you get solved, you identify them, you fix them, you move on, and growth happens. And growth happens much more effortlessly. It's just like fitness for people who maybe had a food intolerance and they didn't know it, and they were consuming this healthy food, but once they figured out their allergies or their diet restrictions and they got that in line, weight loss happened. It was more effortless. So it's not easy, it's just less hard. You're not bashing your forehead into a wall all the time to try to break through. And so that, at the end of the day, is all I focus on with clients. And that's what I want every business owner out there to start thinking about is, okay, we are stuck at this plateau, whether it's 12 million a year and we've been here for a decade, or we're just running into the $1 million plateau ceiling, like my client, the Mountain Guide School, who ran into that 3 times until we got it broken through and got it solved. And it was 2 bottlenecks for them, and they got to 2.6 million last year. So they got past the $1 million ceiling. So anyway, what is that one key bottleneck? And if you're ready, if you want to talk, message me. I'm happy to brainstorm. I'm happy to help out and figure out, even if you're small, if you're really, really tiny, you're not even to 100 grand, I'll send you a link if you reach out to me on an article that I wrote that solves it for you. If you're not to 100 grand, it's 2 things. It's figuring out your offer and pitching it to enough people manually. Don't worry about automation. Don't worry about lead traffic pillars or sources or any of that stuff. There's a million ways to get in front of prospects and figure out if your offer is right. But on up, if you're at $500,000 and you're figuring out how to add a couple of key staff, if you're at $1 million and you're just running headlong into the management headache of people not getting done what you think they need to get done, or if you're not quite to 5 million, you're stuck in purgatory between 2 and 4 million, and you don't have the management infrastructure and the communications and the quality control, or if you're at 10 million and you keep staying stuck there and you haven't figured out specialization of your teams, or heaven forbid you have a quality control issue still at 10 million. They're all easily identifiable bottlenecks, and the key is sticking with them and fixing them to see the results through. It's easy to want to move on to the latest new shiny, but I guarantee, I 100,000,000% guarantee, buying another course, going to another seminar, spending money on another piece of software is not going to solve your bottleneck. You might get lucky. You might be the blind squirrel in the forest that finds a nut every once in a while. But at the end of the day, it's a crapshoot if you're hoping that that's going to solve your problem. And anyway, I think that's it. So focus on your bottleneck. Find out what is the root cause that's preventing your company from growing. Every business has one. It's just identifying it. And you may not like the answer. You may not want to change it. That's fine. Staying small and stopping the pressure of needing to grow is great. But until you identify that root cause, you're just going to be spinning your wheels and wasting a lot of time, energy, money, stress, and even feelings of guilt or shame or inadequacy if you're feeling you have to grow, but at the end you really don't want to. That's fine, but getting to that root cause will solve that. So leave a comment, message me. I'm happy to engage, happy to chat. This is really how businesses grow, is they solve that bottleneck at every stage of revenue. And they are so common and they happen to everybody. And that's it. So hope you enjoy this. Have a great day.